Hi there, welcome to Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario. I've had a few inquiries about my extracts. So today, as we're gearing up for the holiday season and baking, I thought I'm gonna make some extracts and I'm gonna show you how to do them quick because it's all about saving time. And you can put vanilla beans in alcohol, leave them for 6 months and you have an extract. But you can do them in your Instant Pot and have them ready in a week. So I am going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to show you some of my favorites because my hair is tickling me. I have an issue with using Instant Pots or pressure cookers half full. Doesn't happen. You always fill up the whole pot with everything. If you're going to use the energy, make it worth your while. Now I use Madagascar vanilla beans. They're organic. I will put a link to these. They are not cheap, but they will last forever because vanilla is one of those perpetual givers. You put it in, you make your vanilla extract, and then you can actually just top up the jar with alcohol for a while and you'll get good use out of these. You'll end up having vanilla for the next few years, all with 10 beans. Now, my way of doing it is 10 beans is good for a liter. So I'm gonna make a liter of vanilla. And let me explain to you, if you have 6 months, let's say you have a jar of a good quality vanilla already in your cupboard, and you don't need these right away, take your beans, throw them in a liter of alcohol, like the jar, the bottle that it comes in, and just forget about it for 6 months. You're good. Easy peasy. You don't have to think about it. But what I like to do is I like to infuse the alcohol with them. So I'm gonna take my bean and I'm just gonna slit down to expose those seeds, those beautiful seeds, and that will give out flavor. Now I'm doing all 10 in a liter jar. Let me grab my mason jar. In there. Then I'm going to take this and divide it in 5, 2 beans and 200 milliliters, and put them into little bottles and use those as Christmas gifts. So I will show you that afterward. There's a little bit of liquid in there. I think I need to dry this off a little bit. I just washed it, so it's still. This is how I dry my jars. Put a piece of paper towel inside, use a wooden spoon, we're good. So I'm actually gonna turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing for a change instead of just looking at me. Hoping that works out okay. I'm pretty sure that's good. So what I do is take my beans. I am gonna put a link to these vanilla beans. Like I said, they're organic from Madagascar, but they're a beautiful product. I'm gonna put a link in the description for you. You don't have to be super precise about this. You just wanna get access to those beans with the alcohol. You want to extract as much of the flavor as possible. And oh, that is working very nicely. I use these paring knives. They're Evo knives. They're made in Portugal. And you know my background is Portuguese. So I love to promote that company. I do know that you can purchase them on Amazon. So if you like, I'll put that link as well. I just go to their shop in Toronto when I buy my knives. There we go, 10 beans all in a couple of seconds. That wasn't even a minute, right? Remember, this is easy. You can do it. You are smart enough, and don't let anybody overcomplicate things. So we'll move that aside. If you've watched my tincture videos, I support a local distillery, and these guys, I just get these 3-liter bags of vodka at a little bit of a better price than the LCBO, which is our Ontario government liquor store. It's not a huge savings in price, but I'd rather support a local distillery than a government office. Now, I am filling with vodka to the 1-inch mark, which is that lower line. Grabbing a lid. And you could actually use reused lids for this because you're not sealing this. So this is where I take advantage of my old lids that were not rusty. And there we go. That is going in the Instapot. Now, I'm gonna do a few other flavors because like I said, we are not running the pot with just one item. Another extract that I use a lot is lemon extract. And here I am back. What I do is when I use lemons, and I'm just using them for juice, I take a very sharp peeler and I take off the skin. Now it's the rind, not the pith, so there is no white in here. And I just put these all in a Ziploc bag inside the freezer. And when I'm ready to do something like this, I just take them out. I rinse them, just take any icicles off, and I put them on the paper towel to dry them a bit. Now for extracts, you don't need to fill the jar like you do for tinctures. And we are extracting this with heat. I would never apply heat to a tincture, but for an extract, I will. So here we go. That is my lemon. I'm doing smaller quantities of the lemon. I will also give some of these away, but I am good to just do a ½ liter. Same fill line. I am trying to use lids that have been previously used rather than new ones. Holy shit, how easy is that? Next, orange zest. I just purchased these oranges. They were not organic, so what I did is I used a vegetable dish soap wash, put the soap on, let it sit for 15 minutes, then rinsed it really well twice, then rinsed it in a water and a little tiny bit of apple cider vinegar solution to make sure that there was no residue, rinsed it again. These are squeaky clean. So I need the oils out of here. I don't want any pesticides on there. Up here, Northern Ontario, very hard to find organic oranges at my store. So this was my alternative. Now, when I did that, you see how there's a little bit of pith on there? That is because I pressed too hard. So I'm actually gonna fillet. That's my Instant Pot with something else going off, not an emergency. I'm going to literally fillet the same way you would fillet a fish and get off most of the pith. I don't like the bitterness of the pith in my extracts, so that's why I do that. But see how much better that is? So I am actually gonna show you myself doing this. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit lighter so I don't have to do that because that's extra work. Try not to cut my hand open because this is a super sharp peeler. When I make limoncello, I use this because it gets the pith off or leaves the pith on the lemons and then makes making limoncello that much easier. Okay, we're almost done here with the orange. Now, the beautiful thing of having orange and lemon extract is when a recipe calls for zest of an orange or zest of a lemon, you could just put like a ½ teaspoon of this and you're good. So you don't always have to have that fresh fruit available, which we know that we don't always have. So that worked. Oh, my goodness, this orange smells lovely. So now I have a bunch of oranges that I could either juice and keep the juice or eat. But we will use everything. Absolutely, we will use everything. I make a really nice marmalade. It's 3 citrus, which is orange, grapefruit, and lemon. But I usually do that in usually the end of January when it is Florida orange season. And that way I end up with a better price when I go to buy them at the store. Because of course we are not growing those ourselves. This next one is not something I grow in my garden, but I love the flavor. So I have coffee beans. They're a really good blend. Any coffee bean you like. I like a very dark roast. And I was gonna put it in here, and guess what I'm gonna do? Save the jar, and I'm just gonna add it to the jar where it's keeping the coffee beans. Talk about lazy, I know, but it works. Everything is clean there. I don't have to worry about sterilization because the jars are clean. However, this is alcohol. It's gonna sterilize everything anyway, plus we're applying some heat. We're gonna be good. And the final one. Okay, I just went out to the garden and there is our mint. I think I did show you my mint bush when I was getting ready to pack up for winter. I just rinsed these off, patted them dry. I'm just taking the leaves. Now I make mint extract because I make a delicious, delicious mint chocolate chip ice cream using my duck eggs. So I need extract, and if you go and purchase mint extract, you are paying through the nose, and it's so easy to make it with what you got at home. There's nothing here for you, Prince. Do you want to make extracts? You don't like extracts. There's nothing here for a puppy. Doesn't take long to get all these off the stem and into the jar. Like I said, it's really simple. You're smart enough. Don't overcomplicate anything. Don't let anybody overcomplicate it for you, because this is something you can do at home with something that's growing in your yard and save yourself a ton of money and have a better product, because at least you know exactly where everything's coming from. I want it to be a nice strong flavor, so I'm going to fill the jar just a little bit more. I think that is good. Again, top it up to the 1 inch mark. Come on, we can do it. We have enough. Perfect. Throw in a couple more leaves. And a lid. Okay, so we have our Instant Pot and all our jars. I use a very thin face cloth. I don't use the trivet that comes with the Instant Pot. I just put the face cloth down there so that my tall jar fits without any issue. And then I add a cup of water. if you were just to put the plant matter and the alcohol in the pot and put it in the canner or the Instapot, what you would do is evaporate away all the alcohol, and you don't want to do that. So what we're doing is having the lid closed, containing everything, but having heat. The water at the bottom just creates the steam, and the face cloth at the bottom, just like it could be a dishcloth, not a face cloth. I just have these face cloths that are very thin. That just creates a safety barrier so none of the glass breaks. This is going in the Instapot for 30 minutes, and it's gonna go on a natural release. Little side note, we get asked all the time, aren't you bored on a homestead, out in the country, by yourselves? Well, I can tell you, we have never, ever been busier. Boredom does not exist. We always have something to do. I don't know if you've noticed in my videos, I did not have cupboard doors on my kitchen. Reason being, last year, just as we were updating our kitchen by painting the cupboards and putting on new countertops, my son was in a serious car accident, and he was in intensive care on life support for a couple of months. And I'm just gonna reach over here. I had the hinges to my cupboard doors in my purse inside a Ziploc bag because I had wanted to get better hinges that would open more than 90 degrees. So I was carrying it around in my purse. Well, when I ended up in the hospital, those hinges were weighing me down, and I thought, well, let me take them out, lighten up my purse for what I had to be working on. And God damn it, I have no idea where I put those hinges. So we haven't been able to put the doors back on the kitchen cupboards. And I had an errand that I had to run down to Toronto for. So I went to Lee Valley and took a couple of the remaining hinges as examples and got myself hinges to put finally up on my doors so I can hang them back up. Well, I tell you, we always have a project, so I don't know how the hell people think we have nothing to do. Anyway, I am gonna have cupboard doors back up on my kitchen soon. Too bad I can't see where everything is anymore. But yes, we are never bored on our homestead. We have plenty to do. Okay, so our extractions have been complete. The Instapot has come down in temperature. It was a natural release. I've still let it cool off quite a bit of time because I don't want any siphoning. Remember, this is alcohol in here. We don't want to lose that. And this jar is very hot, so be very careful. I like to normally, if I wasn't doing a video, I would leave this overnight and make sure it was cool the next day. But that is our vanilla extract. Can you believe that color? Look at that. Can you see the beans in there? Now, I'm not going to be bottling it today because I want to let it sit for a week. That will be divvied up into smaller jars. The other extracts, here's our mint. You see the color in there? It's beautiful. And I'm just gonna keep putting these in here because I'm gonna leave them. The coffee is incredible. It's totally absorbed into the coffee beans, but look how dark that is. That is so dark that I'm actually thinking I could run those beans again. Just add more vodka and run them through another cycle. Our lemon, look, beautiful. And the orange. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So if I leave this another week, it will just continue to extract some of the flavors even more so than it already has, and then I'll bottle it up. Now I want to show you the bottling process without actually doing it, because as you can see, it's still bubbling, so it's still really hot, and I don't want to do that. But I do not use the little funnels that come with the jars. Now, this is a 60 milliliter jar. It is perfect for giving when it comes to things like extracts. You don't want to give too much because you don't want it to be wasted either. But this little guy, I'm gonna make little packs, so I want to have different ones. And with that, I'm just gonna grab a little label. I will put links on for these bottles as well as the labels. Isn't that great? What a nice gift. Something that people will appreciate. Now, I don't use the little funnels that come with these things because I believe that we can do better. And if you've seen my tincture video, you'll notice that I use the pharmaceutical grade syringes. You can get this at any pharmacy. This one is a 50 milliliter syringe, and I'm going to do this with water just to show you how much better it is. I'm going to go just past the 50 because this is a 60 milliliter bottle. If you had a little funnel here, the chances of spillage is huge. You don't want to waste any of this hard work. Do it with this syringe. You don't even have to look. See, I'm looking at you. You'll never overfill your jar. That was a 50. If I had gone a little bit more, it would have filled the jar. That was just plain water. I just wanted to show you how that works. And that is how I make my extracts. Now, if you follow along in the next few weeks, you will get to see me use some of these extracts in my baking. So please, keep following, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Share with your friends before I start baking for the holidays. And go out, enjoy, and live your best life.